Sir Thomas de Hungerford of Farleigh Castle in Wiltshire, was the first person to be recorded in the rolls of the Parliament of England as holding the office of Speaker of the House of Commons of England, although that office had existed before his tenure. Origins: Hungerford was the son of Walter de Hungerford of Heytesbury, Wiltshire, thrice Member of Parliament for Wiltshire in 1331 halves, 1333 quarters and 1336. His mother was Elizabeth Fitzjohn, daughter and heiress of Sir Adam Fitzjohn of Sharehill in Wiltshire. The Hungerford family had been seated in Wiltshire since at least the 12th century. Uncle Thomas's uncle was Robert Hungerford, Member of Parliament for Wiltshire in 1316 and a commissioner to inquire into the possessions of the Despensers after their attainder in 1328, and gave much land to the hospital at Calner in memory of his first wife, Joan, to the Church of Hungerford, Wiltshire, and to other religious foundations. He was buried in 1355 in Hungerford Church, where an elaborate monument long existed above his grave. An inscription to his memory is still extant in the church. His second wife was Geva, widow of Adam de Stocker, but he left no issue. Career: Hungerford was Sheriff of Wiltshire from 1355 to 1360 and served several times as a Member of Parliament for Wiltshire. In April 1357, in 1360, 1362, January 1376 sevenths, twice in 1380, in 1383, 1384, 1386, January 1389 90ths, and in January 1392 thirds. He served as Member of Parliament for Somerset in 1378, 1382, 1388, and 1390. He was returned for both constituencies in 1384 and January 1389 90ths. He was knighted in February 1375. He was closely associated with John of Gaunt and acted for some time as steward of Gaunt's household. Owing to Gaunt's influence, he was chosen in January 1376 sevenths in the last of Edward III's parliaments to act as Speaker of the House of Commons. According to the rolls of Parliament, Hungerford of 8 les paroles per les communes d'Angleterre and cet Parliament. He is thus the first person formally mentioned in the rolls of Parliament as holding the office of Speaker. Sir Peter de la Mare preceded him in the post, without the title, in the Good Parliament of 1376. In 1380 Hungerford was appointed Forester of Selwood. In 1369 he purchased from Walter Pavely de Jure Baron Burgish the manor of Farleigh Montfort, now called Farleigh Hungerford, which served as the chief residence of his descendants, and in 1383 obtained license to crenellate his manor house there, which thus became Farleigh Castle. In about 1384 he aroused the suspicion of King Richard II, who attached him, but he obtained a pardon and also a confirmation of his free warren at Farleigh. Marriages and amp progeny. He married twice, firstly to Eleanor Strug, daughter and heiress of Sir John Strug of Heytesbury, secondly to Joan Hussey, heiress of Sir Edmund Hussey of Holbrook, by whom he had one surviving son and heir, 3 other sons having predeceased him: Walter Hungerford, 1st Baron Hungerford. Death and amp burial. Hungerford died at Farleigh on 3 December 1397, and was buried in the chapel of St Anne of St Leonard's Chapel, Farleigh Hungerford Castle, where his chest tomb with effigies of himself and his wife survive. His portrait was made in a stained glass window, engraved in Hawes' Modern History of Wiltshire, Heytesbury 100, p. 90.